This was our first pack goat trip of the year into the Mallard-Larkins area. We have 2 new pack goats, J2 and Frostbite. They're both 5. Frostbite is a little tiny guy. He's the same size as our 3-year-old Oberhausley, and as an alpine, he's probably not going to get any bigger. Come on, boys. Yeah. Going this way. It's been about 40 years since Rob's been into this area, and about 35 to 30 for me, and we were both on horses when we came in that time. I've watched some videos about coming in from the St. Joe side, and it didn't look like something we should be doing with our goats. Come on, boys. Let's get lined up. We did have a little road construction to deal with. The road, Beaver Creek Road, was closed, so we had to come around through Browns Rock, which meant it was going to take us longer because it's a dirt road, but they had it in good condition, and so it was no big deal. We had actually planned on staying until Monday, but the bugs were so bad that the goats just made circles and circles and circles all night and couldn't rest, because as long as they kept moving, the bugs were not terribly bad. But we just felt really sorry for the goats, and we just couldn't handle having them in so much, being so uncomfortable, so we came out Saturday night. I don't like a heavy pack, and we figured the goats don't either, so the 2 big goats carried 31 and 33 pounds, and the 2 little goats carried 24 and 25. A lot of people pack their goats heavier, but I just don't see the point of it when you don't need to. I learned my lesson about not packing goats too heavy on my very first trip. A friend and I packed up some goats that some friends had lent me, and we left Cove, Oregon, and went up to Moss Springs into the Ucap Wilderness area. We got caught in a storm, and so these goats were tied up for the night with covers over them, and one goat pawed and pawed until she was lame the next day. Well, since I had maxed out everybody's pack, I not only had to carry my heavy pack, but I carried the pack of that goat too. So I learned my lesson right then, that you don't overpack when you're going on a goat trip. In the evening, the goats were fussing, so I decided to take them for a walk. So we walked back up toward the way we had come in, and then we went back to camp, and I tried to settle in again, but still they kept walking around the tent and being dissatisfied because of the bugs. So I took them out the other route and decided we would try and find our way to Larkins Lake. We climbed up Larkins Peak, and we didn't find the lake from there, although it's really high up there, and kind of an interesting climb. It goes up pretty steeply. We didn't see it from the top of Larkins Peak, so we climbed to the next ridge top, and it wasn't there. I knew it had to be close, so we climbed over just one more ridge, that one you can see right in front of you above J2. We looked over the edge, and sure enough, ta-da, there was Larkins Lake. Join us for part 2 when we have beautiful views of Larkins, Craig, and Heart Lake.